In April 2011, William Lane Craig debated Sam Harris at Notre Dame University on the topic, "Is the foundation of morality natural or supernatural?" In his first rebuttal, after presenting the problem of evil, Sam Harris made the following assertion.
Now, of course, there's a way of not taking these questions to heart. Okay, according to Dr. Craig's divine command theory, God is not bound by moral duties. God doesn't have to be good. Whatever he commands is good. So when he commands that the Israelites to slaughter the Amalekites, that behavior becomes intrinsically good because he commanded it. Okay, well, here we're being offered, I'm glad he raised the issue of psychopathy, we're being offered a psychopathic and psychotic moral attitude. It's psychotic because this is completely delusional. There's no reason to believe that we live in a universe ruled by an invisible monster, Yahweh. But it is psychopathic because this is a total detachment from the well-being of human beings. This so easily rationalizes the slaughter of children. Okay, just think about the Muslims at this moment who are blowing themselves up, okay, convinced that they are agents of God's will. There is absolutely nothing that Dr. Craig can say against their behavior in moral terms, apart from his own faith-based claim that they're praying to the wrong God. Okay, if they had the right God, what they were doing would be good on divine command theory. Now, I'm obviously not saying that Dr. Craig or all religious people are psychopaths and psychotics, but this to me is the true horror of religion. Okay, it allows perfectly decent and sane people to believe by the billions what only lunatics could believe on their own.
I think Harris was quite clear in what he said, so let's just watch how Craig represented him afterwards.
He also says it's psychopathic to believe these things. Now, that remark is just as stupid as it is insulting. It is absurd to think that people like Professor Peter Van Inwagen here at the University of Notre Dame is psychopathic, or that a guy like Dr. Tom Flint, who is as gracious a Christian gentleman as I could have ever met, is psychopathic. This is simply below the belt.
I believe this is self-explanatory. Harris made a point about the divine command theory offering a worldview akin to that of psychopaths, and Craig accused him of having said that religious people are psychopathic. In his second rebuttal, Harris made the audience know that he didn't enjoy Craig's distortions of his words.
Begin?
Well, perhaps you've noticed Dr. Craig has a charming habit of summarizing his opponent's points in a way in which they were not actually given, so I will leave it to you to sort it out on YouTube. Needless to say, I didn't call those esteemed colleagues of his psychopaths, as I made clear.
This episode alone is pretty damning, but Craig didn't stop here. He uploaded on his website reasonablefaith.org a podcast in which he gave his thoughts about the debate. At some point, the exchange that I've shown was discussed.
Oh, you took Sam Harris to task for talking about how you're a psychopath to believe some of these things that Christianity teaches and theism teaches and so on. You took him to task for saying that. And Harris claims that he wasn't calling people psychopaths in the debate, but that he...
In his books, Kevin, he characterizes religious belief as a form of mental illness. And he certainly intimates, at least, that people who are religious believers manifest some kind of psychopathy or other sort of mental derangement.
Delusion. Yeah.
Well, stronger than that. I mean, a form of mental illness. And it seemed to me that such a claim is just, it's stupid, frankly. It's just silly.
First, Craig didn't refer to Harris' written work when he made his accusation in the debate. He was talking about what Harris said in his first rebuttal, where he definitely was not saying religious people are psychopathic and even specified that if Craig wished to infer that Harris, despite affirming the contrary, actually does believe that religion is a mental illness, he ought to have given the audience something to support that statement, such as a quote from one of Harris' books. Moreover, even now that he is all warm and fuzzy on his own podcast, Craig doesn't bother providing something to support his harsh representation of Harris' views. I, on the other hand, can give this quote from The End of Faith, the bestseller Harris published in 2004. Quote, "Clearly there is a sanity in numbers, and yet it is merely an accident of history that it is considered normal in our society to believe that the creator of the universe can hear your thoughts, while it is demonstrative of mental illness to believe that he is communicating with you by having the rain tap in Morse code on your bedroom window. And so, while religious people are not generally mad, their core beliefs absolutely are." End quote. In conclusion, unless Craig is able to provide some backup for his claim, what he's said will remain a clumsy smearing attempt towards his debate opponent. See you next time.